dear beloved. The phrase prayers go up, blessings come down refers to the idea that just like radio waves climb into the atmosphere, attune to their matching frequencies, and return to Earth, our desires, our prayers, and our requests ascend as subtle wavelengths shaped by our emotions, our intentions, and our inner tone into the atmosphere. Each prayer carries its own frequency. Each desire carries its own signal. And each request travels on the frequency of the feeling that birthed it. Our transmissions rise towards the boundary between earth and heaven. It is here, in this radiant layer, that our signals are reflected, aligned, amplified, and returned. The ionosphere is the mechanism of our manifestations. It is the place where our prayers goes up and our blessings come down. They come down as our new events and our new experiences. When we consciously focus our intentions and attention on the ionosphere, we will begin to notice its reflective nature. When we project desires or words like abundance and luck into the atmosphere, they are part of a larger rhythmic cycle. They ascend as intentions and return as events. They travel upward as inner signals and descend as mirrored experiences. Life itself is a dialogue between the mind and the sky. When we intentionally repeat words like luck, blessings, prosperity, or favor throughout the day, while keeping our gaze subtly focused on the ionosphere, we create a direct line of alignment with luck, blessings, prosperity, and favor. Repetition is the tuning. Intention is the calibration. And attention is the transmitter that lifts the word upward in a steady wave. As your words repeats and your awareness rests on the ionosphere, you begin to sense your projection rising, encoded with your emotional frequency, entering that higher reflective field. And it returns to you as an experience, a turning of events, and as a sequence of opportunities shaped in the exact tone you sent. The ionosphere is more than a layer of atmosphere. It is a cosmic mirror, a spiritual amplifier, and a reflective dome that tune into the frequencies of your intentions. Akin to a supercomputer, it processes, organizes, mirrors, and returns the signals we continually emit. Our projections are patterns. Our intentions are sequences. Our inner frequency is the architecture of the events that unfold in our lives. In this way, prayers go up as data, encoded with feeling, desire, clarity, and blessings come down as outputs, experiences, and aligned opportunities. When we understand this reflective exchange, when we consciously participate in it by choosing the words we repeat, the feelings we nurture, and the focus we lift, we begin to realize, we are always sending. We are always receiving. We are always shaping the life that returns to us. And so the ancient phrase is an instruction for conscious creation: lift your intentions upward. Tune your words like frequencies. Let the supercomputer of the ionosphere reflect them back as aligned events. Your prayers go up into the ionosphere. And your blessings come down as new experiences. The universe is always listening, always reflecting, and always responding to the signals you send. Throughout history, long before the modern world mapped the sky with instruments and antennas, humanity sensed that the heavens played a role in the shaping of fortune, destiny, and financial blessing. Ancient civilizations lifted their prayers upward, toward the mountains, the stars, and the firmament, believing that whatever was sent above would in time return below as prosperity, harvest, opportunity, or divine favor. The phrase prayers go up, and blessings come down has echoed through centuries, appearing in different forms across cultures. It was spoken by farmers who sowed seeds with the sky in mind, by merchants who prayed before voyages, by kings who sought guidance, and by common people who understood that heaven and earth were always in conversation. And though they did not yet have the language of radio waves or frequencies, they sensed the truth, that intention rises, and blessing returns. In our time, with the discovery of radio transmission and the understanding of the ionosphere, that ancient intuition finds a modern reflection. Just as radio waves ascend, attune to specific frequencies, and rebound back to Earth with messages intact, so too do our desires, prayers, and requests rise as emotional wavelengths. Each one has its own tone, its own spectrum, its own vibrational signature. The ionosphere is the great reflector, an atmospheric mirror where wavelengths bend, return, and shape sequences of events on Earth. When we consciously align our attention on this reflective realm, we begin to observe something that ancient mystics already understood intuitively. All thoughts eventually come back to us as experiences, and when we project words like luck, blessing, and prosperity into the sky throughout the day and night, while visualizing them rising toward that luminous boundary, we are participating in a very old practice, now seen through a modern lens. We are like ancient priests sending incense upward, like desert mystics whispering prayers into the wind, and like early astronomers watching the heavens for signs. Repetition is our offering. Attention is our alignment. And intention is our signal. By focusing on the ionosphere, we are lifting our financial desires upward, where they bend, reflect, harmonize, and return as opportunities, synchronicities, and sequences of fortunate events. The ionosphere is a place where projections turn into patterns, where intentions are timing, where prayers are prosperity. It is here that the old phrase regains its original power: prayers go up, blessings come down. Not through luck alone, but through frequency, through resonance, through the ancient exchange between the inner world and the sky above. Financial blessings are reflections. They are aligned returns of the frequencies we have sent upward with consistency, clarity, and emotion. When our thoughts, words, and intentions rise in harmony with the spectrum we desire, the blessings that descend are shaped in that same tone. Thus, from ancient altars to modern antennas, from whispered prayers to repeated words, from rising desires to descending blessings, humanity has always participated in the same cosmic pattern. What we lift to the heavens returns to us as the events of our lives. The ancient skyward offering in early civilizations, people lifted offerings toward the heavens believing that wealth returned from above. Today we understand that thoughts, like early prayers, rise as frequencies. When we focus on the ionosphere, repeating luck or blessings, we recreate that ancient offering, sending our desires upward to be reflected back as opportunities. The merchants' horizon. Ancient merchants prayed before long journeys, lifting their hopes to the sky for safe travels and profitable trade. Their prayers rose upward like radio signals long before we understood frequency. When we align our attention on the ionosphere, our financial goals rise in the same way, returning as sequences of events shaped by the energy we sent. The Babylonian stargazers. The stargazers of Babylon believed the heavens wrote the story of abundance. They read omens in the sky the way we now read vibration. When we repeat words like blessing toward the ionosphere, we participate in that same ancient rhythm, sending intentions upward to be mirrored back as material gain. The Egyptian prayers to the firmament. Egyptians believed the sky goddess Nut arched over the earth, receiving prayers and releasing blessing. Today we see the ionosphere as a reflective dome. When we focus on it, our desires rise into that ancient arch, returning to earth as aligned events and financial pathways. The Roman invocation of Fortuna. Romans invoked Fortuna for luck, believing she walked between worlds, carrying prayers upward and blessings downward. When we repeat luck while focusing on the ionosphere, we recreate that invocation, our signals rising into the reflective field and returning as fortunate timing. The Hebrew breath of blessing. In ancient Hebrew tradition, spoken words carried spiritual charge. Blessings were sent upward in faith that God would return abundance. When we repeat blessings through the day, our words rise like those ancient utterances, reflected by the ionosphere into financial openings and sequences. The Chinese harmony of heaven and earth. Ancient China taught that heaven sends signs and earth responds. Wealth flowed when one's intentions were aligned with the heavenly field. When we focus on the ionosphere, repeating words of prosperity, we align our inner heaven with outer earth, allowing blessings to return in rhythm. The Sumerian sky tablets. Sumerians believed the sky recorded human intent, returning outcomes in cycles. The ionosphere is the sky's tablet. Our repeated words rise upward, etching themselves into its reflective field, later reappearing as financial synchronicities. The Greek echo of prayers. Greeks envisioned prayers echoing through the sky, returned by the gods as answered requests. The ionosphere is our modern echo chamber. When we focus on it, the word luck repeats upward and returns as experiences aligned with prosperity. The African griot's invocation. Traditional African griots spoke blessings into the open air, believing the sky carried their words into future events. When we speak blessings toward the ionosphere, we send our story upward, allowing the reflective field to weave it into the fabric of events that bring financial increase. The Norse bridge between worlds. To the Norse, Bifrost, the rainbow bridge, connected realms. Today, the ionosphere functions as a bridge between intention and manifestation. When we repeat words like fortune or blessing, they rise as signals across that bridge and return as aligned prosperity. The Incan dialogue with the sky. The Inca believed the sky spoke back to those who prayed with sincerity. When we align our attention on the ionosphere, repeating words of abundance, we recreate that dialogue. Our thoughts rise, reflect, and return as fortunate sequences of events. The medieval monks chanted prayers upward into vaulted ceilings designed to echo the divine. The ionosphere is the global cathedral ceiling. Our repeated financial intentions rise into that expanse, returning with clarity as manifested blessings. The Vedic frequency of mantra. Ancient Vedic sages taught that sound ascends into subtle realms and returns as destiny. The ionosphere mirrors those realms. When we chant words like luck or prosperity, our mantra rises as frequency, reflects, and returns as timed opportunities and financial improvement. The timeless exchange of heaven and earth across every culture, the pattern remains the same: what rises to the heavens returns to the earth. The phrase prayers go up, blessings come down describes this ancient exchange. When we align our intention on the ionosphere, repeating words of blessing, we activate this timeless rhythm, sending financial prayers upward and receiving financial blessings downward in the form of aligned events. The ancient signal to the sky. Long before technology, early humans sensed that the sky returned what they sent into it. Their prayers rose like invisible signals. Today we understand that our desires rise the same way, like radio waves reflecting off the ionosphere. When we repeat luck or blessings, our financial intentions travel upward and return as aligned events. The temple priests of Mesopotamia. Mesopotamian priests believed fortune was written in the heavens. They lifted their voices upward, trusting the sky to mirror back prosperity. When we fix our attention on the ionosphere, repeating words of abundance, we recreate that ancient ritual, sending encoded desires upward to be reflected as sequences of financial opportunity. The Greek watchers of the ether. The Greeks described the upper air, the ether, as the realm where thoughts became fate. Today the ionosphere mirrors that idea. Our prayers rise into this subtle layer, reflect across its spectrum, and return as experiences. When we repeat blessings day and night, we tune our frequency to the same field the ancients gazed upon. The Phoenician traders' skyward requests. Phoenician sailors prayed to the heavens for profitable voyages. Their prayers rose into the same sky we now call the ionosphere. When we intentionally project words of luck toward that reflective field, our financial desires rise just as theirs did, returning to us as aligned trade, timing, and opportunity. The Hebrew ascension of words. In ancient Hebrew tradition, spoken blessings rose like breath toward God. Their belief mirrors what science now shows, that waves ascend and return. When we repeat blessing with focus on the ionosphere, our financial hopes rise and descend as events shaped in the tone we sent upward. The Egyptian communion with the celestial arch. Egyptians saw the sky as a living dome bending over the earth. Every offering rose into that arch. Today, the ionosphere forms that boundary. When we fix our intention there, repeating words of prosperity, our thoughts rise into the same dome and return as mirrored financial outcomes. The oracle traditions of Delphi. The ancient oracles spoke messages from the heavens. Their role was to decode what descended after prayers ascended. The ionosphere performs a similar function. When we repeat luck toward it, our intentions rise into its spectrum and are returned as financial guidance woven through events. The African rainmakers understood that the sky responds to human intention. Their chants lifted upward, carrying hope for prosperity. When we repeat blessings through the day, directing it toward the ionosphere, our financial desires rise on that same ancient pathway and return as fruitful conditions. The Vedic understanding of sound reflection. Vedic sages taught that sound ascends into subtle realms and returns as altered destiny. The ionosphere reflects sound waves today just as those sages described. When we repeat prosperity words with focus on this reflective field, we participate in a timeless exchange that shapes financial outcomes. The Celtic belief in the sky as messenger. The Celts believed the sky sent omens according to what was lifted toward it. Their prayers ascended like invisible offerings. When we focus on the ionosphere, repeating luck, our financial intentions rise into this ancient messenger field and return as sequences of aligned events. The Mayan dialogue with the heavens. Mayan priests believed the heavens recorded every human request. The ionosphere functions similarly, reflecting waves back to earth. When we project blessings, our words rise like ancient invocations, returning as financial synchronicities shaped in their very tone. The Persian Magi. The Magi read the sky for signs of prosperity. They understood the heavens as a mirror of human intention. When we focus on the ionosphere and repeat words of luck, our financial desires rise into that same celestial mirror, returning as aligned opportunity and fortune. The medieval chant toward the heavens. Monks chanted prayers upward, trusting the vaulted sky to carry them. Today, the ionosphere performs this reflective function. When we repeat blessings day and night, our words rise through this atmospheric cathedral and return as financial grace arranged in sequence. The Shinto reverence for heaven. Shinto priests saw the sky as a boundary between worlds where offerings were transformed. The ionosphere echoes that boundary today. When we lift financial intentions upward with words like luck, our projections rise into this reflective layer and return as harmonized events. The timeless exchange of intention and reward across every era. Cultures believed the sky returned what the heart sent upward. Prayers go up, blessings come down was observation. Today the ionosphere embodies this exchange. When we align our attention there and repeat words of blessing, our desires ascend as waves and return as financial blessings arranged in the spectrum we chose. The first skyward prayer in early human history, people looked upward when asking for abundance, sensing that the sky carried their requests. Today we understand that our desires rise like radio waves, attuned to frequencies. When we repeat luck toward the ionosphere, our thoughts lift the same way, returning as financial events shaped in the vibration we sent. The scribes of ancient Sumer, the Sumerians, believed the heavens recorded human intentions. Their prayers rose like signals into the firmament. The ionosphere now reflects that ancient truth. Our financial intentions ascend into its spectrum and return as aligned opportunities when we repeat blessings with unwavering focus. The Egyptian offering to the celestial dome. Egyptians placed offerings beneath the arching sky, trusting that prosperity descended from above. The ionosphere forms today's celestial dome. When we fix our attention there, repeating luck, our words climb into that field and reflect back as sequences of financial alignment. The Babylonian watchers of the sky signs. Babylonians read the heavens for omens of fortune. They believed the sky mirrored human will. This mirrors our understanding of the ionosphere, where thoughts rise like waves and return as events. Repeating blessings draws financial favor through this ancient reflective principle. The Greek faith in the ether. The Greeks believed that prayers rose into the ether, the realm where fate crystallized. The ionosphere echoes that same function. When we repeat prosperity words toward it, our intentions rise into that upper realm and return as manifested financial pathways. The Hebrew tradition of ascending words. Hebrews believed spoken prayers ascended and returned with divine precision. Today we recognize that waves rise and reflect. When we focus on the ionosphere while repeating blessing, our financial desires follow that ancient pattern and return as aligned sequences of events. The Roman call to Fortuna. Romans called upon Fortuna, believing she heard prayers lifted upward. When we repeat luck toward the ionosphere, our intentions ascend like those ancient invocations, returning as fortunate timing and financial synchronicity. The African sky drums. Certain African tribes used drums to send messages skyward, believing the heavens carried them back as guidance. Our words rise similarly. When we project blessings toward the ionosphere, our financial hopes ascend like rhythmic signals and return as patterned events. The Vedic mantra to the subtle realms. Vedic sages chanted mantras upward, aware that sound altered destiny. The ionosphere mirrors this subtle realm. Repeating prosperity day and night sends our intention upward where it reflects, returning as improved financial circumstances. The Incan dialogue with the heavens. The Inca believed the sky answered those who spoke with it sincerely. When we focus on the ionosphere and repeat words of luck, we recreate that ancient dialogue, our financial intentions rising and returning as events arranged in harmonic sequence. The Celtic skyward whisper. Celts whispered prayers into the wind, believing the sky would carry them back as blessings. Today, the ionosphere performs that same function. When we repeat blessing with concentrated attention, our financial desires rise and return as aligned prosperity. The Persian mystics and the reflective sky. Persian mystics saw the sky as a living mirror of human thought. The ionosphere reflects that concept literally. When we send repeated intentions of wealth upward, they bend, reflect, and return as experiences formed in the vibration we held. The Mayan interpretation of heavenly records. The Mayans believed the heavens recorded human requests and returned them as destiny. Our thoughts rise to the ionosphere in the same way. Repeating luck throughout the day imprints our intention into that reflective layer, returning as sequences of financial opportunity. The Japanese Shinto offering to the heavens. Shinto practice honored the sky as a boundary through which blessings flowed. The ionosphere serves as that boundary today. When we focus attention there and repeat blessings, our financial intentions ascend and return as harmonized events. The timeless exchange across ages, across all history, cultures believed what rose to the heavens returned to the earth. Today, we understand that waves travel upward, reflect, and descend as aligned outcomes. When we repeatedly project luck or blessing into the ionosphere, our financial desires rise as waves and return as experiences shaped in their very frequency. If you want, I can now create 15 trance-like meditations, a guided induction, or a long unified script based on these contemplations. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info.